Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here, playing Doom. This is Mission 7, Argent Facility. This time it's destroyed. This is part of the 100% walkthrough series, where I take you from the beginning to the end of the level and show you every possible thing you can find, including secrets and any types of collectibles possible. And I even do the challenges along the way and remind you about good parts of the mission to boost certain things. Anyways, we're going to want to run through the very beginning of the mission. At the very first room, there was a data log which we picked up. After climbing a little bit, drop down to the platform that has a little 1 next to it, into this area where you'll find a secret, and you can pick up the collectible inside of that secret. Now you're going to want to go directly above yourself. Now there's an enemy, and I'm going to take him out because he was causing me a lot of issues. So obviously take him out if he's on your screen as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't get that melee in there, but eventually finished him off. So we're going to climb back up, and this is where you're supposed to go mission-wise. We're going to actually have to come back down here, but jump up here, jump across the gap, and behind these boxes is a lever. Pull it, and that'll open up a door directly underneath us. So we kind of went back and forth a little bit here, but it's not too much of an issue. Also, you'll see me randomly throwing grenades. That's because I'm working towards my equipment rune. So go through here, into here, and find the secret. Now we can proceed. Go across some of the catwalks in order to drop down into a tunnel that's had a hole blasted into the top of it. As you drop down, there should be a door directly in front of you. Turn around 180 degrees to find the elite guard before proceeding. Again, as you drop down, notice the door in front of you and the elite guard directly behind you. Pick up the little chip off of him and make sure that you're using your weapon upgrade points as well as your suit upgrade points, and make sure you have your rune slots equipped with certain runes that you find useful. Go into the room with the console commands. At the back of the room on the right hand side, find the data log, and then interact with the computer in the middle to start a short cutscene and open up access to some more doors.
For years, I believe you can use it to find the answers you seek. It bears your mark.
Olivia's personal laboratory is not part of the registered facilities database. Alpha-level clearance will be required to locate it. Granted.
You can access her Lazarus facility from the north sector of the Advanced Research Complex, about 80 kilometers away.
I'll bring the tram power online to take you there, but you'll need a UAC corporate facilities clearance card to activate it. There is a security station nearby.
As soon as we exit the airlock, I like to work on both of the challenges. First things first, get 5 chainsaw kills. I recommend using the chainsaw on these small enemies as it'll only take 1 unit of fuel. If you chainsaw some of the bigger enemies, it takes 2 to 5 units of fuel. So just get all 5 of those, and now that we have that challenge out of the way, the other challenge we need to get is called Skeet Shooting, which is for killing a Revenant while in flight. So what I recommend doing is getting the Revenant into the glory kill position. Then locking onto him with the rockets, assuming you have the rocket lock-on, weapon modification. If you don't, think of something else that might work, like shooting him out of the air with your shotgun explosion, or a charge shot, or some kind of weapon you can do a lot of damage with very quickly. As soon as he leaves the ground, make sure you kill him to get both of those challenges out of the way. The other challenge is a collectible one, so don't really worry about that. Now I'm going to be going for glory kills, as I have a couple runes equipped that are glory kill specific. But feel free to finish off the rest of the enemies in this area whatever way you deem necessary, and then I'll join you back up when there's more collectibles to be had. We'll come to this part where we hop over a small barrier and then find a door that says Zone 7, Section 0 with a control panel next to it. Just to the left of that, if you kind of look off to the cliff, you should find your first Rune Trial. This one is very, very easy. It took me one try and I wasn't even close to failing. All you need to do is run through the level and make sure you pick up all 15 of these items, which are very clearly in sight. The only way you're really going to die is if you miss a double jump across the large gap. If you've been following along with the video, that should be your 7th rune, which means you'll unlock your 3rd slot. Make sure you always have something equipped, especially if you've already maxed it out. It'll stay there unless you change it out. So make sure you always have something useful in there so that you're constantly making progress. From that rune, if you look off just a little bit to the side, you'll notice a pipe with a cornerstone right here. If you drop down while facing towards the land, you'll drop down and find a small platform that you might be able to land on. There's multiple ways of getting here, but this way is the quickest. Eventually, you'll jump into the platform, land in here, and inside the tubes, find a secret. On the right-hand side, find the Elite Guard. From that Elite Guard, just make some of the jumps across the gaps to go back up where we were previously, where that Rune Trial was. So just jump the large gap and ride this blue like elevator thing, man cannon, to the door, open up the airlocks, and go inside of the next series of rooms.
Those who came before you and those with whom you serve all operate with the same goal in mind.
If you've been following along with the glory kills towards the Rip and Tear achievement / trophy for getting a glory kill on each type of enemy, with those little skulls that fly around, not included, this will be your last enemy type that you'll need in order to unlock that. These are called Pinkies, or Pinky, and make sure you glory kill one of them in order to get that achievement or trophy out of the way if you've been following along. Another type of enemy you may have missed is called the Engineer. He's the one with the gas tank on his back that explodes. Because he looks like he's going to explode, a lot of people don't end up actually doing a glory kill on him, but there's actually one later on in the mission if you so desire. Now, you did see me work towards my weapon mastery for the mini micro missiles on my heavy assault rifle. And what I did was you have to land 5 bullets in 4 shots with the micro missiles in 5 seconds. So that's what I did to get that out of the way. Now I'm going to move back and work on some other stuff. Always make sure you're working on at least 3 runes and at least 1 weapon upgrade or 1 weapon mod upgrade or mastery at all times to make sure you're making a lot of progress during one playthrough of the game. Upon killing the last enemy, locate the objective. To the right hand side of the objective, you can find the Automap, which is not necessary towards 100% of the game, but it'll help you if you do find yourself a little bit lost. Across the room on the other side, find the data log. Now interact with the board in order to see where the enemy was taken, which has the key card that you'll need, which is outside of that door directly in front of you. You can see that here I'm loading up my charge shot on my shotgun, as I've already gotten all my explosive stuff possible, so I'm going to be working on some new weapon mods. In this case, killing 5 Mancubuses with my charge shot. Outside of this door, use the man cannon to get to the top, and you'll find an Elite Guard. Make sure you pick up his chip. Now at this point you can drop down and try to kill some of the enemies directly underneath you, although it'll spawn more and more waves. What I like to do instead is go to the next area and spawn the waves of enemies there. Here you have to kill as many enemies as you can, and eventually upon killing all of them, this door directly in front of me will open. Again, you may have to backtrack to that first area to kill some enemies that may have remained, although it should generally spawn less enemies if you run to this door and then work your way back and then back to the door. If you're struggling with any of these enemies or running out of ammo like I am, all you can do is just run across the bridge to the other side where you'll find your Gauss cannon if you don't already have one. And for some reason I already had one, but it's going to make me pick it up again here. And you can shoot the enemy. It's one kill hit on like a decent amount of enemies here. After killing all the enemies on that bridge though, right next to where I picked up that Gauss cannon, inside on a container, you can find a data log. From this data log, continue forward into the room where you'll find a field drone flying away. Just let him be for now. It's not a big deal. We'll catch up to him later. What you want to do as soon as you enter is activate the crane. You can activate the crane later. Don't worry if you skip this step. And then destroy the nest. Upon destroying the nest, I'll rejoin you with commentary. So I've killed all of the enemies that spawn with the nest. From this point forward, go back to where that crane was operated. Click the button if you haven't already, which is this console right here. This will let this crane park in the middle. Jump on the crane and then to the right hand side, jump on the platform. This area is a secret. Inside of this secret area, find a field drone. From this field drone, drop down and continue the mission. As you drop down and kill all of these enemies, including that engineer, which you may or may not have missed with a glory kill, feel free to just go through the door, and instead of going to the right, go to the left. Follow this path for as long as you can. Upon reaching the end of it, you'll find a Rune Trial. You'll have to jump down. Just make sure you're following. It is quite linear, but you may get a little bit lost. At the end of the path, again, is a Rune Trial. This one is a little bit difficult in my opinion, but there is a secret area as well where this Rune Trial is, which you'll automatically pick up by doing the Rune Trial. In this case, you have 1 health and 8 enemies to kill with the shotgun. The first 2 enemies, very, very easy. After that, it can get a little bit more difficult, especially if you're on harder difficulties, and the time limit is a little bit tough. The one thing you will need to do in order to get this is make sure you pick up as much armor as possible, and make sure you're using an upgrade on the shotgun. So in this case, you can see that I'm using many charge shots, although I probably should be using explosive shots instead. Upon killing all 8 enemies and surviving, the Rune Trial is complete. After the Rune Trial, backtrack to where we came from and go the other way from the door we exited the facility from. You'll have to come to a couple cliff sides where you'll do a series of jumps and make your way to a spaceship landing zone. Once reaching the spaceship landing zone, kill all of the enemies. Remember, if you don't have the 5 chainsaw kills, work towards those. If you don't have the Revenant Skeet Shoot challenge for killing an enemy while a Revenant while in mid-flight, make sure you work on that as well. You should already have most of the data logs as well. After you've killed all the enemies and cleared the threat and opened the door, before going through the door, jump backwards from where we came from and notice that there is a spire in the middle. On this spire, on the back of it, you should be able to find your Argent Cell. Now, I decided to go for armor because I was working on a whole bunch of armor-related runes, so that's why I chose that, but it's completely up to you. Health, ammo, all, decent things to work towards, depending on your playstyle. Work your way back towards that ship. At the foot of the ship, just to the right of it, you should find a data log. Make sure you pick it up. After picking up the data log, you can now proceed through the door that we opened by clearing all the enemies. In through here, and to the left, you should notice a small ledge you can climb up to. Inside of this ledge is a secret area, as well as a collectible. After picking up that collectible, we'll want to interact with the item in the room, which will give us access to the tramway. This is the key card we've been tracking down this entire time as part of the mission. From here on out, go forward through the yellow access door, which will drop you down an elevator shaft. At the bottom of the elevator shaft, you'll land right next to a door, but from the opposite side of that door, to a double jump away, you can access this little chamber. Inside of there, you can find an elite guard. This should be your last collectible, secret, or anything available in this mission. From here on out, go ahead and complete it. To do so, jump down the elevator shaft, circle around to the right-hand side through the next yellow keycard door. Upon doing so, you'll enter this series of rooms. And after killing all of these enemies, a train car will arrive. You can go inside and click the button in order to leave the station. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully the video was helpful to you. Feel free to work on whatever you need to work on. In my case, I'm doing a whole bunch of random runes as well as weapon upgrades. Hopefully I see you guys in the next video. Special shout out to Hayden Giggles as well as DocCupcake84 for supporting the show on Patreon. Peace!
UAC tramway ready for departure. Please be seated. The tram is now ready to depart. The UAC's Advanced Research Complex will be our final destination.